Okay, so I finished reading Matriarch last weekend, and I just wanted to talk about it for 2 seconds. Let me know if you've read it in the comment section and what your favorite chapters are. But what I love about Matriarch is that, yes, you do get like an inside view into like her connection into Beyonce's life and like the music industry, which I thought was really, really good. But I think my favorite part about the book is that it feels like there was so much history wrapped up in the book, right? It didn't just feel like I was reading a book about her life. And I've been reading biographies and memoirs for like a year and a half now. And I think they're one of my top two genres when it comes to books. But I just love how much energy, not energy, but history she poured into her book, right? She talks about, you know, watching her sister do sit ins, you know what I mean? And the history of the civil rights movement and like, when schools were segregated and Brown versus the Board of Education, like all that shit, like she brings it up as like historical points, but also uses this at like as a reflecting moment in her life, which I think is really, really good. And so you do end up learning a lot about her family, her lineage, but also the history of the country and how she was experiencing that, right? Which I don't feel like we get, or at least that's not something I see or that I read in a lot of the memoirs that I've gone through, right? Um, yes, again, you do get insight into the music industry, but you also get to see like how her and her family, they've always been fashionable. Uncle Donnie did indeed make the dresses, but her sister and her mother, she really does come from a line of like fashion designers. No tea, no shade. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So she was gonna be that girl. She was gonna do the House of Darion. She was gonna make Destiny's Child's, outfits and costumes and so on and so forth. Right, but I feel like that points to the fact of the way that like how so many black families they make a way out of no way, and the way that we just create and the way that we just make things, excuse me, truth burp, it becomes invaluable, and that is something that we become wildly recognized for, and we're able to value and cherish that when we don't let the Caucasoids, you know, dampen the view of our creativity and the work that we do and the beauty of being black. You know what I mean? The creativity in blackness is just like chef's kiss. And again, there's tons of that in the book. But yeah, I loved it. I could talk about it all day long. Let me know what your favorite parts of and if you're reading it. Or if you're reading it right now and you haven't finished it, like just like what are your thoughts on it?